Gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth, named Yum Yum. The ward of cocoa, in pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
Why, who are you who ask this question?
Come gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel, I sing charades and patches of ballad songs and snatches and dreamy lullaby. My cat is on through every passion raging, and to your humors changing, I tune my supple song. I tune my supple song. Are you in sentimental mood? I'll sigh with you. Ooh, sorrow, sorrow. But if patriotic sentiment is wanted, I've patriotic ballads cut and dried. For wherever country banners may be planted, all of the local banners are defied. Our warriors are serried ranks assembled, never quail and they conceal, and if they do, oh then I shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops, the troops of Tippoo.
We shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble, tremble with alarm before the mighty troops, the troops of Tippoo.
And if you call for a song of the sea, we'll hear the capstans round. With a yoke heave ho, for the wind is free. Her anchors adrift and her helms a leak. Hurrah for the homeward bound.
Yo-ho, hee-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound.
To lay in aloft in a howling breeze may tickle a landsman's taste, but the happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down on an inland town with his Nancy on his knees. Yo-ho, and his arms around her waist.
Then man that capstan, up we go as the fiddler swings us round. With a yo-heave-ho and a round-de-lo, hurrah for the homeward bound. With a yo-heave-ho and a round-de-lo, yo-ho, heave-ho, 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 yo-ho.
A wandering minstrel, I sing charades and patches of ballad songs and snatches and dreamy lullaby and dreamy lullaby.
And what business have you with Yum Yum?
Well, I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Tippoo Town Band. It was my duty to take the cap round for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian Coco, a cheap tailor. And I saw that my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. Oh, judge of my delight when I heard that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once to find Yum Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner under the following remarkable circumstances. great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steady. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered or winked, lest canoe be ally linked, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 should forthwith be beheaded. And I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I'm right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And all is right as right can be. Right as right can be.
Decree you'll understand, cause great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. For you who winked a roving eye or breathed a non-connubial sigh was thereupon condemned to die. Usually objected, 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 usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object. And I'm right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct.
And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct. And everything is quite correct. All is quite correct.
We straight leapt out on bail, a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be mown on, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated, and not cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I'm right, and you are right, and hell is right, Talurale.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right, Talurale. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right.
The chief tailor? Lord High Executioner of Titipu? Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado. Mikado. Seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled the two positions into one. So now every judge is his own chop-chop executioner.
Oh, but how good of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I could trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal primordial atomic globule. Well, I can't help it. I was born sneering. But I struggled hard to overcome this singular defect. When all of the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all their positions at once?
And the salaries attached to them?
I beg your pardon?
You did.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Keeper of the Sealed Privy, Academic Dean and Vice President of Titipu U, Chief Groom and Super of the Royal Polo Ponies, Lord High Minister of Indoor Sports, Most High Minister of the Brewery, Chief Rabbi and Archbishop of Titipu, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one, and at a salary, a pooh-bah paid for his services. Aye, a salaried minion. But I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
No, but I don't stop there. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment at any hands, however lowly. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. Any further information about Yum Yum would come under the head of a state secret.
Really?
Oh! Another insult, and I think a light one.
And have I journeyed for a month or nearly to see that Yum Yum whom I love so dearly. This day to Coco is to be united.
The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped as suits his station. He'll give you any further information.
Of noble rank and title, a dignified and potent officer, whose functions are particularly vital. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord, to the Lord High Executioner.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a man, under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank by most romances. Taken from the county jail, liberated then on bail, surely never had on bail so adventurous a tale. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord High Executioner. Bow down to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord High Executioner. touched by this reception. I am happy to think, if I should ever be called upon to act professionally, there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. There's those mutant ninja turtles from wherever did they hatch, and those fat and fading baseball stars who stand around and scratch those silly simpering fashion police parading to and fro with coordinated colors from their headbands to their toes, and that singular anomaly, the raging feminist. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list. He's got them on the list, and they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
There's the guy who does the weather. Good evening, everyone. I've got him on the list. I've got him on the list. We all see that it's raining, even though he says there's sun. I don't think he'd be missed. I'm sure he'd not be missed. And don't forget the smart case, just when you thought it quit. Someone wrote a book and made a movie out of it. The people in the neighborhood who hate you and your car, the leaders of a college who brag they live in Oz, and our governor, his budget cures, they never did exist. I don't think he'd be missed. I'm sure he'd not be missed.
He's got him on the list. He's got him on the list, and I don't think he'll be missed. I'm sure he'll not be missed.
Hit it! Everybody say yo! Everybody say yo! Everybody say yo ho! Everybody say yo ho! Listen up. Ex-presidents and witnesses we simply can't recall, and all those ousted dictators, they're meant to take the fall. And colonels and high station chiefs who too all spill their guts, are they all patriots? Or is it me that's nuts? And all roving politicians who travel far and wide, ex-governor advisors who insist on a free ride, and Ollie Ann and Clarence T and Ronnie you-know-who, and all those TV preachers and their wives who cry boo-hoo, and our fair vice president who just can't get the gist. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list. You can put them on the list. But they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
Yo!
And all Supreme Court nominees who won't tell what they think, it's them we must resist. I've got them on the list. For when they make their judgments, they expect you not to blink. I don't think they'd be missed. I'm sure they'd not be missed. And those self-indulgent bankers, embezzlers of our thrifts, and compromising statesmen like read my lips. And what do you call him? What's his name? And also you-know-who. The task of filling up the blanks I'd rather leave to you. But it really doesn't matter whom we put upon the list, for they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. But they'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
And our orchestra conductor, who just now has lost her place. got me really pissed. I'll put her on my list. The musicians and their instruments, they take up so much space. I'm sure you would insist I leave them off the list. The director and her entourage, we work so hard to please. The costumer who dresses us like proper Japanese. And then the choreographer who ties us up in knots. The chorus and the principals. Is there someone I forgot? But I don't think that we need to put us all upon the list, for we surely would be missed. Yes, we surely would be missed.
You may leave us off the list, you may leave us off the list, for we surely would be missed, we surely would be missed.
I have something to tell you. It seems the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I want to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend upon them.
Oh, certainly. In which of my many capacities as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Attorney General, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Suppose we say as private secretary.
Speaking as your private secretary, I should have no hesitation at all in saying that as the city will have to pay for it, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Oh, exactly as the city will have to pay for it. Oh, that is your advice.
Yes, private secretary. Of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
But you said just now, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Yes, private secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed.
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my attorney, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, speaking as your attorney, I should have no hesitation at all in saying, chance it.
Oh, thank you, I will.
If it were not that, as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that law isn't violated.
I see. Come over here where the Lord Chief Justice can't hear us. Now, as First Lord of the Treasury.
As First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. Yeah, if it were not that, as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it tooth and nail. Or, as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that, as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and turn myself over into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
That is extremely awkward.
No, I'm not saying that all of these distinguished people couldn't be squared if they were sufficiently insulted with a very considerable bribe.
Yes, well, I'll give it my careful consideration. Oh, but my bride and her sister's approach, and any little compliment, such as an abject grovel in a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
No money, no grovel.
What about the money now, grovel later?
From so as he travels Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. One little maid is a prime yum-yum. Two little maids in attendance come. Three little maids is the total sum. Three little maids from school. From three little maids take one away. Two little maids remain and they won't have to wait very long, they say. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwary come from a ladies' seminary. Three from a genius to Larry. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school.
At last, my bride that is to be.
You're not going to kiss me before all these people.
Well, that was the idea.
It seems odd, doesn't it? It is rather peculiar.
Oh, I expect it's all right. Must have a beginning, you know.
Well, of course I know nothing about these things, but I've no objection if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think. Lord Chamberlain.
I've known it done.
Thank goodness that's over.
Will you present me?
Oh!
One at a time, if you please.
Oh, he's the gentleman who used to play so beautifully on
The municipal gazebo.
Yes, I believe that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward yum-yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, pretty hair, taking little thing altogether. Why, I'm glad to see my opinion backed by a competent authority. Really, thank you very much, really. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Take him away.
Huh?
I beg your pardon, but what is this? Customer come to try on?
That is a VIP. Whoa!
Go away, little girls. Go away. I haven't got time to talk to little girls like you. Go away now, there's a dear.
Allow me to present you, Poobah. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
Well, what do you want me to do to them? Mind, I will not kiss them.
No, you shan't kiss them, little thou. A mere nothing, you needn't mean it.
No, it goes against the grain. They are not young ladies, they are young persons.
Come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. Howdy do, little girls, howdy do. Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor.
That's very good.
I see nothing to laugh at. It is very painful for me to have to say howdy do, little girls, howdy do. I am not in the habit of saying howdy do, little girls, howdy do to anyone under the rank of stockbroker.
Really, girls, don't laugh at him. You can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them, fool. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
Which position?
All of them.
Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
At last we are alone.
At last we are alone. I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded. And I find out that you're about to be married to him this afternoon.
Yes!
But you do not love him.
No!
Mortified rapture. Why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He's my guardian. He would never let me marry you. Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside of tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
But shall I tell her? Yes, she would not betray me. What if it should prove that, after all, I am no musician?
There! I was certain of it the moment I heard you play.
What if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty, the Mikado?
The son of the Mikado? Ooh, Mikado. But why is your highness disguised? And what has your highness done? And will your highness promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katishaw, an elderly lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week, or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night, I fled his court, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me, and I had the happiness of seeing you.
Ooh! Your highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
We are quite alone, and well, nobody can see us.
But still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Oh, deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
If it were not for the law, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should be sitting side by side, like this.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off, like this.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes, like this.
Breathing sighs of love, like this.
Oh. With our arms round each other's waists, like this.
Yes, if it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
As it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
Not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
Being engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge all rank and station, worldly spheres are not to us, and to mark my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus. I would kiss you fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco, to embrace you thus for Coco, who distinctly be no Choco, and for that I should get Toco. Toco.
So in spite of all temptation, Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'd never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never do.
He'll never do.
I'll never do.
He'll never do.
Oh this, is what I'll never, never do. Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'd never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never do.
He'll never do.
I'll never do.
He'll never do.
Oh this, is what I'll never, never do.
There she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. Ah, matrimony. Now then, what is it, sirs? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You have interrupted me.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty, the Mikado.
Oh, Mikado! A letter from the Mikado.
Oh,
Mikado! What in the world can the Mikado?
Oh,
yeah. Have to say to me. Oh. It seems he is struck by the fact that there have been no executions in Titipu for a year, and decrees that unless someone is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village. Oh.
an unhappy piece of business, I'd say.
Oh, yes, there is no help for it. Oh, I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It seems unkind to say so, but as you were already under the sentence of death for flirting, everything would seem to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't kill myself.
Why not?
Why not? Why, in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head. What?
A man might try.
Even if he only succeeded in cutting it half off, that would be something. This professional conscientiousness is highly creditable to you, but it places us in a very awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself compared with that of the man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head. Ugh.
Well, I'm afraid unless you can obtain a substitute.
Substitute? Oh, certainly. Nothing easier. Poobah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
Oh, certainly. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any cost, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition.
This is simply appalling. I, who have allowed myself to be reprieved at the last moment, am now required to die within a month. Is this public gratitude? I said, is this public gratitude? My good sir, what are you doing? How dare you? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing?
Oh, go on. Don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm about to terminate an unendurable existence.
Terminate your existence? Oh, nonsense. What for?
Because you are going to marry the girl I adore.
This is horrible. Are you aware that... Are you aware that in taking your life, you are committing a crime which substitute? Is it absolutely certain that you are resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Will nothing whatsoever shake your resolution?
Nothing. My mind is made up.
Then, if you really mean what you say, and you are absolutely certain you are resolved to die, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely. By the hand of the public executioner!
I don't see how that would benefit me.
You don't?
No.
Observe! You'll have a month to live, and you'll live in luxury at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. I know one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession, bands, dead march. Bells tolling. All the girls in tears. Yum, distracted. Then, when it's all over, general rejoicing and a display of fireworks in the evening. Why, you won't see them, of course, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you really think Yum Yum would be distracted at my death?
Oh, I'm convinced of it. Bless you, she's the most soft-hearted little creature alive.
Well, I should be sorry to cause her pain. What if, perhaps, after all, if I were to withdraw from Japan and travel to Europe for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her?
Oh, I don't see how you could forget Yum Yum so easily. I mean, after all, what could be worse than a love-blighted life?
True.
I mean, life without Yum Yum, why, it seems absurd.
And yet there are a good many people in the world that have to endure it.
Poor devils, yes, you are quite right not to be of their number.
Well, I won't be of them.
Oh, noble fellow.
I've got a plan. Let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and in a month, you may behead me!
Yes! No, I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very well. If you can draw the line, so can I.
Stop! Listen one moment. Be reasonable. How can I consent to you marrying Yum Yum if I am going to marry her myself?
My good friend, have a seat. She will be a widow in a month. You can marry her then.
Oh, I see that. That's true, but dear me, my position during the next month will be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant.
Not half so unpleasant as my position at the end of it.
But dear me, that's true. After all, it would only be putting off my wedding for a month. You won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. I should not like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, she'll never learn the truth from me.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent of here.
'Tis Nanky-Poo.
Hail, Nanky-Poo!
I think he'll do.
Yes, he'll do.
He yields his life if all Yum Yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will. Love her a lot if I did not adore myself with a passion tender still. With passion tender still.
Ah, yes, he loves himself with passion tender still.
Take her. She's yours. Not you, Pooh. Nanky-Poo.
Wrong Pooh.
In a month you got to die if you're gonna tell the truth. 'Twere empty compliment to cry long life to Nanky-Poo. But as 1 month you have to live as fellow citizen. This toast with 3 times 3 we'll give. Long life. Long life to you. Long life to you. Long life to you. Till then.
May all good fortune prosper you. May you have health, and riches too. May all good fortune prosper you. May you have health and riches too. May you succeed all you do.
the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus enfold you.
Away, you'll prosecute your quest. From our attentions, well, it's past. You cannot turn us. The state of your connubial views towards the person you accuse does not concern us. For he's going to marry Yum Yum. Your rank of very thorough will be very. I think you had better succumb. And join our expressions of plea. On the subject, I pray you be dumb. You'll find there are many who wait for a pity. The word for your guidance is mom. There's lots of good fish in the sea.
On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. You'll find there are many who wait for a penny, There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
Oh, faithless one, this insult you shall rue. In vain for mercy, on your knees you'll sue. I'll tear the mask from your disguising.
Now comes the blow.
Prepare yourselves for new surprising.
I'll foil my foe.
No minstrel he, despite bravado.
I know.
He's the son of Yah. In vain you interrupt with bravado. He is the only son of Yah. I'll spoil your gay gambado. He is the son of Yah. The son of Yah. My wrongs will
with downcast eye. Let it brim with dew. Try if you can cry. We could do so too. When your sunbeam starts, like a frightened frog, flutter, little heart, color come and go. Modesty and marriage life well becomes a pretty bride. Modesty and marriage life well becomes a pretty bride. Bravely, bravely, there with the sorrowful tress, deck the maiden there in her loveliness. Gave the pretty face joy the coral lip, emphasized the grace of her ladyship. What temptation was alive, go to make a pretty bride. What temptation was alive, go to make a pretty Yes, I am indeed beautiful. Sometimes I sit and wonder in my artless Japanese way why it is that I am so much more attractive than anybody else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature and take after my mother. The sun whose rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory does not deny his majesty. He scores to tell a story. He won't exclaim, I blush for shame, so kindly be indulgent. But fierce and bold in fiery gold, he glories all effulgent. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know the sun and I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know our worth, the sun and Observe his flame, that placid deep, the moon's celestial highness. There's not a trace upon her face of diffidence or shyness. She borrows light that through the night mankind behold acclaim her. But true to tell, she lights up well, so I for one don't blame her. Pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, the moon and I. Pray make no mistake, we are not shy.
everything seems to smile upon me. Today I'm to be married to the man I love best, and I believe I'm the very happiest girl in Japan.
The happiest girl indeed, for she's indeed to be envied who has attained happiness at all. But perfection?
In all but perfection?
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact that your husband is to be beheaded in a month is in its way a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, at all events, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. It all depends.
I think it's very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on such a day. If my married happiness is to be
Cut short?
Well, cut short in a month? Can you let me forget it?
What's this? Yum Yum in tears, and on her wedding morn.
They've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, you are to be beheaded.
It's quite true, you know. You are to be beheaded.
Now, some bridegrooms would be depressed by this sort of thing. A month? What's a month? A month. These divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Then we'll change it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. At that rate, we've about 30 years of married happiness before us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4. Must be time for tea.
Yes, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
Now that's the way to look at it. Don't be downhearted. Remember, there's a silver lining to every cloud.
Certainly. Let's be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry.
Quite ridiculous.
Go on. Don't mind me.
I'm afraid we're distressing you.
Never mind. I must get used to it. Only please, do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. There, let me get used to that first.
It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
Oh, I must learn to bear it. Now, allow her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
I am much obliged to you. Now, kiss her. Thank you. Such torture.
Come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
No, there's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
My child. My poor child. How shall I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes, you never can be mine.
I'm so glad.
I've just learned that by the Mikado's law.
Oh,
Mikado! When a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Yes, it's a most unpleasant death.
But whom did you get that from?
Well, from Pooh-Bah, he's my attorney.
But he may be mistaken.
So I thought, so I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, and the Lord High Auditor. They're all of the same opinion. Why, I've never known such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
Oh, but really, this law has never been put in force.
Not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation, and married men never flirt.
Oh, of course they don't. I quite forgot that. Well, I take it that I can See, my dream of happiness is now at an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. But when I agreed to marry you, my love, I had no idea that I should have to be buried alive in a month.
Nor I. It's the very first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference indeed.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you? Here's a howdy-do, if I marry you. When it's time for you to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding. Let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's a state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's a state of things, here's a state of things.
With a passion that's intense, we worship and adore, but the laws of common sense we oughtn't to ignore. If what we say is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's howdy-do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding. Let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's a state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's a state of things, here's a state of things.
With a passion that's intense, we worship and adore, but the laws of common sense we oughtn't to ignore. If what we say is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's a howdy-do,
Here's a howdy-do,
Here's a howdy-do.
for if what we say is true, we cannot marry you. Here's a pretty, pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
Oh, my poor boy. I'm really very sorry for you. Why, I can't conceive of anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of a wedding. You shall come to mine, yes.
That's awfully kind of you, but that's impossible.
Why so?
Because today I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without Yum Yum. This afternoon I performed a happy dispatch.
But hang it all, you're under contract to die by the hand of the public executioner. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I shall have to be executed in your place. Now then, what is it?
The Mikado!
Oh, Mikado!
Is approaching the city. He'll be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado!
Oh, Mikado!
He's come to see whether his orders have been carried out. As a gentleman and a man of honor, you are bound to die by the hand of the public executioner.
Very well then. Behead me.
What? Now?
certainly, at once.
Chop it off! Chop it off!
But, my good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Why, I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way up through the animal kingdom until I come to a Japanese tenor. Oh, I can't kill you. I can't kill anybody.
Oh, really? We all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. Remember, sooner or later it must be done.
Must it? Well, I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed would do just as well? Why, here are plenty of witnesses. The Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
But where are they?
There they are. They'll all swear to it. Won't you?
Am I to understand it? All of us great officers of state are required to perjure ourselves?
Why not? You'll be grossly insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cash down, or shall I bill you?
It will be a ready money transaction.
Very good. Choose your fiction, and we will endorse it. So much for my family pride.
But I tell you that life without Yum Yum...
Oh, yum, 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 bother, yum, yum. Pooh! Go fetch Yum Yum. You take Yum Yum and marry Yum Yum. Only go away and never come back again.
Thank you.
Oh, here she is. Yum Yum, dear. Are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
Good. You have 5 minutes to spare.
Yes?
Good. Then go with His Grace, the Archbishop of Titipu. He'll marry you at once.
But if I'm to be buried alive...
Now, don't ask any questions. Just go. Nanki Poo will explain all. Oh! Here comes the Mikado!
Oh, Mikado!
And if he finds you alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty in persuading him that I've beheaded you. Here he comes!
I'm the Emperor of Japan.
And I'm his daughter-in-law elect. He'll marry his son. He's only got one to his daughter-in-law elect.
My morals have been declared particularly correct.
But they're nothing at all compared with those of his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. A more humane Mikado never did in Japan exist. To
Nobody second, I certainly reckon a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make, to some extent, each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make its prisoner bend, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. O weeping evangelical sinners who nutter and beg and bore are sent for confession to dulcet sessions each day from 8 to 4. The dieting guru whose obvious secret all desire to shirk, to make him grow thinner, he'll sing for his dinner at the Madame Tussauds waxwork. The elderly lady who dyes her hair black and ruins her face with paint is made to confess it. To all she'll address it and tell us just what she ain't. The idiot who on public monuments scribbles rude sentiments is made to face them, his tongue to erase them. A punishment most intense. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make its prisoner bend, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner bend, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who wearies the tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The street corner rapper with boombox blaring is carried away by cops. The car they will ride in and listen to hide in. An endless cantatas of fox. The pool all cheat if anyone catches, his doom's extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dungeon cell, in a spot that's always barred. And there he'll play extravagant matches with no one but the walls, and a cloth that's broad and bumps, and wobbly rolling balls. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make its prisoner bend, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner bend, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I am happy in being permitted to welcome your majesty. I know the object of your majesty's visit. Your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate of death. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Secretary of State for the Home Front, Attorney General, Lord Mayor, groom of the second floor Home Front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was, too. A man of tremendous strength. His struggles were really terrific. It was a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
I seized him by his little pigtail as I drew my snicker-snee. I never shall forget his shriek as I gnashed my teeth, and in one stroke, whoosh, sliced off the unfortunate head.
He shivered, and he shook until his eye met mine. It almost seemed to brace his nerve. I'm ever so glad that he was comforted by the sight of me.
And as the head rolled by me, it stood on its neck and bowed to me 3 times. Obviously recognized a man of pedigree. Quite touching.
Oh, this is very interesting, and I should like to have seen it. However, we've come upon a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. Quite the contrary. I was going to marry him, yet he fled.
I'm surprised he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You know nothing. You are still unenlightened. You believe that beauty is to be found in the face alone. Learn then that that is not the truth. I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays upon presentation of visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
It is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be too much for me to ask you to produce him? He goes by the name of... Nanky Poo.
It's quite easy. It's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad. Yes, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address.
His address. Where?
South where?
No.
Where?
Yes.
What's the matter?
See here, his name, Nanky Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear, dear, this is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion.
Of course you hadn't. How could you? Come, come, don't fret. It was none of your fault. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, he must take the consequences. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your majesty.
Much obliged, your majesty.
Very much obliged, your majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
Well, of course, we couldn't really tell who the gentleman was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It might have been on his American Express card, but he must have left home without it.
I forget the punishment for encompassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes. Something lingering with boiling oil in it, something of that sort. I think there's either boiling oil or something else. It was something humorous, but lingering with either boiling oil or molten lead.
Your Majesty will accept our assurances. We really had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't even there.
Oh, that's the pathetic part of it. But the fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's nothing in it about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
Oh, there should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't.
Oh.
Well, that's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn up. But cheer up, it'll be all right. I'll have it altered next session. Now, about your executions. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Oh, yes, we can wait till then.
Splendid. Then after luncheon it shall be.
I don't want any lunch.
Oh, I'm very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
Well, a fine mess you've got us into with your nodding head and your deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely corroborative detail designed to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bold and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative. Fiddlestick!
And you're just as bad as he is, with your cockable stories about catching his eye. But that's so like you, isn't it? You really must put in your oar.
Oh, and how about you and your gnashing teeth?
Yes, and your Snickers.
Oh, well, never mind that now. There's only one thing left to be done. Oh, Nanky Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. Ah, Nanky Poo, I've good news for you. You've been reprieved.
Oh, but that's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm off on my honeymoon.
But a terrible thing has just happened. It seems you're the son of the Mikado. Oh, Mikado!
Yes, but that happened some time ago.
Oh, no time for jokes. Your father is here and with Katashaw.
My father? I'm Katashaw?
Yes, and he wants you particularly.
And so does she.
Oh, but he's married now.
What has that to do with it?
Katashaw claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she will insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, well, then my wife would have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Oh, yes. But I don't know what's to be done. Oh.
There's one chance for you. If you could persuade Katashaw to marry you, why, she would have no further claim on me, and I could come to life without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Katashaw.
I really think it's the only course.
Oh, but my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Ah, that's only her face. She has a left elbow that people come miles to see.
lady?
I'm told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart on any lady's right heel.
When it comes to this, while Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, my existence would be as welcome as the flowers in the spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, bring promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
No! The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractable thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing. Oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Oh, bother the flowers of spring. What?
Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
My soul is still my body's prisoner. Remote the peace that death alone can give. My doom to wait, my punishment to live.
Catashaw!
They are heating the cauldron.
Catashaw, mercy!
Mercy! You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead, and where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to implore mercy for you who have robbed me of my prey? I mean, my pupil? Just as his education was upon the point of completion? Oh, where shall I find another?
Here. Here.
What?
Catashaw, for years I have loved you with a white hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Ah, shrink not from me. Catashaw, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it.
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to speak words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged?
I do. Accept my love or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I that no one has ever yet died of a broken heart?
Catashaw, you know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tall tit sang willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He sobbed and he sighed and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowy wave. And an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. But if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow.
really die of love?
He really did.
All in a kind of a cruel little hand?
Yes.
Poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once.
Oh, no, you mustn't. Anything but that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me if I'm just a teeny, weeny, wee bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Hate you? Oh, Cantershaw. Is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly. There is beauty in the bellowing of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is eloquent outpouring when the lion is roaring and the tiger is lashing of his tail.
Yes, I'd like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when lashing of his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the don'ts. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the flight of the falling thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing dairy down, dairy, it's definite, very our taste somewhat. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no tardily, tear till day is done. There is beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you are elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting is a maiden all the better when she's tall.
Throughout this wide dominion, it's a general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed?
To the matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed.
If that is so, sing dairy down, dairy, it's evident, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no tardily, tarry till day is done. That is so, sing dairy down, dairy, it's evident, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no tardily, tarry till day is done. Sing dairy down, dairy, we'll merrily, merry, no tardily, tarry till day is done.
Now then, we've had a capital lunch and all is ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then bring in the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy! Mercy! Mercy for Coco! Mercy for Pity Sing! Mercy! Even for Pooh Bah!
I beg your pardon, I didn't quite catch that last remark.
Mercy even for Pooh Bah! Mercy! My husband that was to have been is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Well, you've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that you have slain the heir apparent.
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son.
Oh, Mikado.
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Oh.
Traitor! You have deceived me.
Yes, you are entitled to an explanation, but I think he will do it better whole than in pieces.
Your Majesty, it's like this. It's true, I stated I killed Maggie Boo. But when Your Majesty says, let a thing be done, why, it's as good as done. Practically, it is done. Consequently, if a gentleman is as good as dead, why, practically he is dead. And if he is dead, Why not say so?
I see. Well, nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
Oh, he's gone and married Junior. No man could be married, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb. And join our expressions of glee.
On the subject, I pray you be dumb. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is mum. You got a good bargain in me.
On the subject, we pray you be dumb, dumb, dumb. We think you had better succumb, come. You'll find there are many who went for a penny, who went for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea, there are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea.
The fretting cloud has passed away.
But
though the night may come too soon,
years and years of afternoon.